So Liman, as his name said, he was very slow. Because he applied detail so much. When he carved a piece of wood, everything should be perfect. So if he carved a bird, the bird would look so real, like it's just gonna fly away. If he carved something like a table, the table will look like a piece of art. So every detail has to be just right, just perfect. And that's why when he worked, he always worked in a very slow pace. And this one, his opponent, his name was Zhou Jun. Now Zhou Jun, if you look at him, he's a little bit chubby, he's a little bit tall, very strong. And he was the opposite of Liman. Why? Because he didn't care about details. When he carved the bird, you can feel a bird. You don't really see a bird, but you can feel that it's a bird. If he carved a table, you can feel like it's a table, maybe not very functional. And that's what he cares about. He cares about creativity. He always said, creativity is more important than carpenting skill. So he criticized Liman. He said, look what he's doing. All he's carving is carpenting. You know carpenter? If you were a carpenter, you were just like, you know, working for works that's not really a piece of art. And so for both of them, he didn't like Liman, didn't like Zhou Jun, Zhou Jun didn't like Liman. So they were sort of like enemies. So this is Liman. Okay, so look at that Zhou Jun. He only made his name the last 3 years. For me, I have to work as my master for over 10 years before I made my name. He didn't work hard. He just cheated, and he made fool of people. Now one day, there was a big task coming to them. The emperor was going to marry out the princess. So before marrying her out, the emperor said the princess needs a very unique sedan chair. Do you know sedan chair? It's a chair where people carry and you can sit inside, a sedan chair. So he said, who was the greatest wood carving master in this country? And people told him, Liman and Zhou Jun, you have to find them. So the emperor said, okay, send Liman and Zhou Jun come to my court. So they came to the court. And the emperor said, you know, my princess, she's going to marry out to the neighboring country. And to feature her unique characteristic, we need a unique sedan chair. So I heard that both of you were very good at wood carving. So I think maybe you can come up with something that the princess would like. So these masters say, yes, of course, we definitely can do that. But how much time can we have? The emperor say, well, the princess is going to marry next March, so you will have 8 months. Liman cried out, 8 months? It's impossible. Carve a table takes me more than 8 months. And the emperor said, okay, if you don't want to do it, you can drop it now. Liman said, no. I would love to do it, even though he was very worried. Zhou Jun was worried too, but he thought he should come up with some different strategy, not something very detailed. So he said, yes, the emperor, I definitely can do it. But when they go back home, Zhou Jun was worried because he had to come up with some new idea that can fit in the time frame. So he was walking up and down the pond, thinking about what to do, and suddenly he saw something. He saw something from the pond, and he got an idea. He quickly went back to his studio, and he called his students. He said, come over, I have jobs for you. So he assigned jobs, and they get started immediately. But what about Liman? Liman was very mad, right? So he thinking what to do, and he got a piece of paper. And he started to draw. Oh, there must be a phoenix and dragon on top of the chair. There must be some flowers and birds at the panel of the chair. There must be some beautiful carving on the poles. You know poles? When people carry on the long pole. So he got so many details worked out. He was drawing. He totally lost the sense of time. Didn't mind about time. He just wanted to finish a masterpiece. So they start working, and Liman started carving a dragon head, because the dragon, remember the dragon should be on top of the chair. So he was carving and carving, and he said, I cannot let my student do it, because this is the greatest piece. I have to do it by myself. So he was carving. 2 months has passed. He only finished a head. And he knocked down the part that he didn't like the most. So he had to redo everything. But finally, 2 months later, he got the dragon head. What about Zhou Jun? He worried about Zhou Jun. So he said, go look at Zhou Jun, see what he was doing. So Qin Qi went there, peeked over the window, and he came back. He said, I think they were doing something different. What? Did they carve anything like dragons? No. Did they carve anything like a phoenix? No. No flowers? No, no flowers. I don't know what they were doing, but everybody was busy. And I saw something like flower petals. A lot of petals. Lima was worried. He couldn't quite figure out Zhou Jun. But then he didn't have time, right? So he had to hurry. Because 2 months later, finally, he finished the phoenix head. Time really passed. By the time the deadline came, both of them finished the chair. But Liman barely, because before the deadline, the lights in his studio was still on all night long. So when the day came, both of them carried the sedan chairs to the courtyard of the emperor, and one is covered with red cloth, the other was covered with orange cloth. So the chair was there. The emperor looked at the chair and said, whose chair should we see first? Zhou Jun said, oh, Liman is a senior. We should see his chair first. And the emperor said, okay, Liman. So they pulled out the red cloth of the Liman's chair and see what happened. Do you know what happened? The phoenix and dragon were marvelous. So real, so scary. Even kids look at the dragon and they start to cry. But if they looked down, they saw the chair was barely finished. The pen was still wet. And the flowers are not really like flowers, because Liman didn't have time to finish. So for the last part, he asked his student to help. And then because they were in such a hurry, they couldn't make the best work. So the emperor was very disappointed. The emperor said, Liman, what happened? Liman, what happened? But where is Liman? Liman is nowhere to be seen. And his student came up, shivering, saying, Emperor, our master is sick. Sick? Why? Because he had been working so hard, and then we barely have time to finish. So I think he works too hard, he got sick. The emperor said, okay. Now Zhou Jun, tell me yours. Don't tell me that you have finished. Zhou Jun said, oh yes, we do. We finished. So guess what kind of chair Zhou Jun came up with? You wanna have a guess? The chair? No dragons, no phoenix, no flowers, nothing. So what kind of chair is that? What?
A simple.
A simple one. How simple? Piece of wood. But I don't think he would dare to show just a piece of wood. Now this is what he came up. Did you see a part of the chair? It's shaped like a lotus bud. You know lotus? And everybody look at that and say, what is that? Because they have never seen any chair like that. Even the emperor. So the emperor said, Zhoujun, what are you doing? Zhoujun said, wait, let me show the princess how to step onto the chair. So Zhoujun invited the princess to the chair, and the princess stepped onto the chair. It looks like there's some step there, but the step are the leaves. Here. So the princess stepped onto it, and there's a latch. You know latch? So he touched the latch, and plah! The chair opened up like a lotus. And in between the lotus, there was a chair. So the princess stepped onto the chair. She sat on it like a lotus fairy. With people carry her up, and they were gliding through the people, and the princess just looked like a fairy. Well, the princess was very, very happy. The emperor was very happy. Everybody cheered, say, yes, this is a chair. This is the most unbelievable creative chair that we have ever seen. So of course you know whose chair was chosen by the princess. Yes, but something strange happened. In that night, clouds started to gather above the man's chair.